Well, I just had my first casualty with the normals. Don't know when that happened, but sad to see. Only 50 miles to go, guys. Hold on. All right, good morning and welcome to day 218 on the AT. My name is Mosey and this is Rissaroams. We're rolling out of the secret shelter here. So the secret shelter is a property that belongs to a former thru hiker who allows people to stay here. I was very surprised as I was hiking in last night. I saw lights at the shelter and I was like, there's a hiker here? So rolled up and I was setting up my tent because one, I was already planning on sleeping in my tent. I heard there were wasps in the shelter. And then also because I was going to have a movie night, I was like, I don't want to disturb anyone. So a guy came out, his name was Rusty. He's was a southbound hiker who had hopped down to start doing part of the southern section. And then Helene came through, kind of threw a wrench in his plan. So he ended up hiking north and reconnecting back to where he left off. And so, glad he was there because I didn't think there was a privy at the secret shelter, and he was able to tell me where that was. So yeah, last night rolled in and settled in and watched V for Vendetta. Only 50 miles left of trail as of last night, so that is very exciting. Got a pretty short day today, about 12 and a half miles. We'll go over the New Jersey high point. So it's gonna be a good day. All right, so just filled up on water on what will likely be the last stream I will see today. Gonna have to get water at the High Point State Park headquarters, whatever, and just carry it to the shelter because there won't be any when I get there. So that kind of stinks. I may do a hot lunch so that way I don't have to use water to cook tonight. We'll see. But anyway, I figured that as we're traveling to High Point, maybe we'll discuss my low point. So there's a song that I've been singing a lot on trail here lately. It's a very vulnerable song for me. I listened to it a lot when I was in a pretty dark place. I think I've mentioned this before, but I would not say that I have depression, but I have struggled with episodes of depression. And my most recent one was right around my 29th birthday. So that would have been last August. And it culminated after many years of failed attempts. Every program I applied for, every job that I hoped for, every potential relationships that I thought might happen failed. It just felt like every single time I got my hopes up and I thought something was going to work out for me, it didn't. And it started to wear on me. And I started to believe that nothing I tried would ever work out. During that time, I felt really alone and unloved and misunderstood. And that wasn't true. I had good friends who loved me, but your brain plays tricks on you sometimes. So I just kind of felt hopeless and that nothing I tried I would ever succeed at. And I knew that I needed to make a change. And I decided to come do this, which is crazy. And probably my most harebrained scheme, my least likely thing to be successful at. And the people that I told, a lot of them thought, she's just having a crisis. And a lot of people who didn't know me before all my failed attempts started to break me down. yeah, I don't think they believed in me. I can't blame them. I had lost all confidence and belief in myself. And part of why I came out here was to get that confidence back, to find that girl, to believe that I could do things. And I knew this wouldn't be easy. That was kind of the point. This was a challenge. This was gonna stretch me and break me and shape me back into the person that I used to be. Yeah, I knew this wouldn't be easy. But you can ask anyone in my life, and they told me this. When I was planning this, it did not seem possible to get the gear, to get the money, to get everything together in the short amount of time I gave myself. Didn't seem possible. And every single thing fell into place. My best friend Deanna told me one day, she was like, everything you have tried has failed except for this, which is insane. And people who did not believe that this was really probably a good idea, or thought I was just doing it because I'd lost my mind, started to tell me, like, this was supposed to happen. You're meant to be out there for whatever reason. And I was. And so I've been singing that song a lot. I haven't mentioned it yet. It's called She Used to Be Mine, from the musical Waitress. And like I said, I listened to it a lot when I wasn't doing well. But yeah, I found a lot of comfort in that song when I was in a dark place, and I've been singing a lot out here. Because sometimes, yeah, I still don't recognize myself, but for the most part, I found the girl I used to be. I believe in myself again, which is huge. So I guess I'm singing this song a bit more victoriously these days, and that she no longer used to be mine. She's mine again, at least a version of me that is similar to the old one, but a little different. It's not simple to say that most days I don't recognize me, that these shoes and that apron, that place and its patrons have taken more than I gave them. It's not easy to know I'm not anything like I used to be, although I was never attention sweet center. I still remember that girl. She's imperfect, but she tries. She is good, but she lies. She is hard on herself. She is broken and won't ask for help. She is messy, but she's kind. She is lonely most of the time. She is all of this mixed up and baked in a beautiful pie. She is gone, but she used to be mine. And one thing I forgot to say is I am so thankful for every single one of those failures. Because without it, I wouldn't have ended up here doing this. And that is really hard to say, because those failures really hurt in the moment. And I did not think that good could come from that hurt. But if it hadn't been for them, I wouldn't have embarked on this journey. I wouldn't have had this incredible experience. So, yeah. On a less serious note, I've eaten a Gatorade protein bar almost every day for 218 days. There have been some days, some resupplies, I couldn't find them. The peanut butter is my favorite. I always buy that one. I didn't have it at the grocery store that I Instacarted from. So I got a variety of different flavors that I haven't had in a while. I forgot how much I hated the s'mores. Oh my gosh, that fake marshmallow taste. I love marshmallows. This is so gross. It's okay. It's okay. We'll make it through. Well, I had planned on going up to High Point, but the trail wasn't well marked and I didn't realize that I missed the side trail up to it. So it is now behind me. So there is the New Jersey High Point. So a big group of middle schoolers just passed me going north, and they had all passed, and a few of the teachers were behind, and I heard them talking. They're like, yeah, this guy, like, he said his trail name was this, and they're like, oh, like, you have a trail name? She was like, yeah, it's kind of like a rite of passage. And I was like, my trail name is Mosey. And so then we ended up talking. I told them, you know, about my journey and that I was finishing up on Saturday, and they congratulated me and took a picture so they could show the kids, because the kids just blew past me. They didn't, you know, pay attention. So that was fun. Which I find it so interesting. So the reason that they're on this field trip to High Point is because they're learning about the Appalachian Trail, like, in class. And one of my friends, she homeschools her sons, and she sent me a lesson that she was teaching from her curriculum that was on the Appalachian Trail. I just think that's wild. Like, I never heard about the Appalachian Trail in school, but it's cool that they're teaching kids about it now. There is absolutely no way that you can see this, but there's a young deer right up ahead. It is so cute, and its ears are so big and like rimmed in brown. Oh my goodness, you're beautiful. Bye, baby. Oh, is that Mama? Hi, Mama. All right, so it ended up taking me an hour to go the relatively flat mile from the observation tower to the state park headquarters here. I stopped and talked to, like, the teachers from that middle school group, and then I ran into Cricket, who's a section hiker. I'll put his channel name on the screen. I met him the day that I crossed over into New Jersey, and we actually just missed each other yesterday. He showed up at the tavern right after I left. But so we stopped and talked for a little while, just, you know, about trail, how far we had left to go. And then he also told me he ran into Captain Jack this morning, so I am closing in. We are getting close to him. I may run into him before I finish. We'll see. We'll see if I do or not. But anyway, now we are at the headquarters. One thing he said about Captain Jack is he had run out of water because he didn't realize that the state park was the last place to get water here. I did know that. So in fact, I'm going to be packing out quite a bit of water to take to camp tonight, because there will not be any water at the shelter. And letting my feet air out, so taking my socks off. So I'm actually making my hot meal for lunch today instead of dinner, so I don't have to have water to cook that later. So All right, just had lunch. I am all loaded up with water and we are headed back to trail. We've got 5.5 miles to the shelter that we're staying at tonight. They look to be relatively flat miles. We'll see. I mean, they don't have a lot of elevation, but we'll see, you know, how the rocks play into things. But yeah, so rolling out. Should get to camp at a pretty decent hour today. So the fatigue has definitely set in. The last few days I have been so exhausted. It's 3:20 right now and I could go to sleep. Genuinely, I could crawl in my tent as soon as I get to the shelter, pass out. Oh, so close, so close. But yeah, and then also my body has just been feeling it here lately. Used to never like have sore legs at the end of the day. Sore feet, always, but sore legs, almost never. Every night when I've crawled in my tent here lately, my legs just ache. They're done, and they know that they're almost done.